Hello everybody, Raven Knight here, and welcome to another episode of How to Build. This is the series where I basically show you all the characters that I've created in For Honor and teach you what it is I do to make them so that you can make them yourself. What kind of armor sets you need, what kind of weapon sets you need, all that fun stuff. Basically showing you how to make these characters yourself. And guys, I want to apologize. It has been a very, very long time since I've done one of these. I don't really have a good excuse. It's just I've had so many other projects going on and so many other things I've wanted to work on. I just haven't had the time to sit down and make another one of these videos. But because Highlander is getting a brand new testing grounds coming up pretty soon, I thought it might be nice to show you guys how to build my Highlander, Aaran. Yes, this is Aaran, and if you haven't seen his video yet, go check it out. He is a king of Highlanders who basically was one of the Highlanders who spearheaded the big torrential downpour, the big deluge that took over all of Heathmoor for a while after the drought when Kyotian became a thing. Yeah, it was a whole big thing, and again, you can check out the video down below if you want to see that and hear all about Aaran's story. But today we're going to take a look at Aaran, and I'm going to teach you how to build him, some of my thought processes, and when telling you how I was making him and what I was thinking when I wanted to build him. So let's not waste any more time, let's get right into the good stuff. So starting off with the helm. The helm is the Dougal helm, or Dougal helm. It's probably one of the ones that I like the most. It looks really solid, makes him, it gives a young look. Because a lot of these, like for example, my other favorite one, the Snowstalker, he looks too mature here, he looks too old, and I've never liked these looks. I've never liked the ones with the like weird hat on the head, the weird sort of beret thing. And the beard is a little too over-ornamented. I'm not a big fan of beards that are way too ornamented. When they're too ornamented like that, or braided like that, it looks a little weird to me. So I liked this one. It looked a little bit more realistic to me, a little bit more natural, and I thought it almost looked like kind of a Robin Hood kind of look, which I thought was kind of funny, but I think that this one works. It's got the ginger look, which I know some people have a thing against gingers. I don't get it myself. I think it looks really cool. And yeah, I thought that this one was a good idea. And the hat also, the Celtic weave, which we'll get into, fits with the hat. So it looks like he's wearing a helmet, which is helpful. I prefer it when they have helmets usually. So all right, that is what you get. You get the Dougal helm. Next, you want the Floydith chest. The Floydith chest. I like the Floydith chest here because I like the half cape look. The full cape just doesn't look as good to me, but I like the half cape. I like the fur back, the fur collar, and the hood going on. And then the front, just absolutely awesome. I love the design. It looks like he's wearing armor. He looks solid. I don't know about this one as much. I almost used the Snow Veil, but I ended up going with Floydith. So I hope that you guys will go to the Floydith chest as well. And then finally the arms, I used the Gallaglass arms. I like the Gallaglass arms because they're very simple. And again, I'm one of those people who feels like the more simple, the easier it is to work with. If it's too ornate, too detailed, too many spikes, it just takes away from it. So I went with the Gallaglass arms, the Floydith chest, and the Dougal helm, okay? All right, now for the weapon, this is going to be interesting. You want the Padriag blade, Padriag hilt, and Padriag guard. Guys, I can't tell you how long it actually took me to get all the pieces for this. For a long time, I had the hilt and guard, but I could not get the blade for whatever reason. It took me forever to get the blade. Now, why did I want the Padriag? Okay, so there's actually a story behind this. Originally, when I was planning out Aaran's story, I wanted to have kind of a serpent theme, but not in the like evil way, like in a cunning way. I was thinking about when Jesus was giving his warning to his disciples, saying to be as innocent as doves, but as crafty as vipers, crafty as serpents. And I thought that's what Aaran is. He is a crafty individual. He's cunning. He's not one of these people who just runs in gun blazing, just, I'm going to swipe at everything crazily. He plans things out. He thinks about what the best course of action is. That's why when Astria was taking over all of Valkenheim with Horkos, and the clans were trying to decide who would they side with, Chimera or Horkos, he didn't jump on anything. He kind of said, no, I'm going to think about this. He needed to think about the best way to handle things. And when you listen to his story, he has a very creative way to decide who he goes with. And so I thought that giving him more of a serpent kind of theme with his weapon would very much be the right way to go. So the Padriag hilt, guard, and blade are what you want for the weapon. All right, now let's talk about that ornament. That ornament is the Icy Death ornament. It's one of the most popular ornaments you can get with Highlander, and it comes from the Sacred Animals mythic outfit. So you will need to drop some steel on the mythic outfit to get that, and you will probably never use any other aspect of the mythic outfit again, because the rest of it is kind of crap tier, if I'm really being honest with you. I'm not a big fan of it, but that huge that may be one of the biggest ornaments in game, and it looks so solid. I love the look, so we went with that. Material-wise, you want the base. Honestly, the base is kind of really what you want. You could also go with the dark brown, but the reason I went with the base, or you could go with light, is because it draws out the embossings on the arm, which I think was important here. But you could go with light, or you could go with dark brown, either one, but base is what I went with. Now, for the traits. Default one, obviously. Skin color, I went with your default skin color. I mean, I guess you could go with the first or second, but default is just fine. For the left arm, no paint pattern, no symbol, but you want the Vengeful Valraffen embossing because it's going to take up most of that arm guard. It's going to look really cool. It connects him kind of to me for the Ravens. You know, I'm a Raven Knight, so I thought that would fit very well with him. And you will need to get that from either the Vengeful Valraffen anima outfit or from the Blackbriar's Riposte bundle. So that's what you want to do for the left arm. For the left shoulder, on the same side, you want the paint pattern Spirited Flight 1, which comes from the exact same outfit, the Vengeful Valraffen anima outfit. And you want the symbol Raven of the Slain 5. It'll show this really cool looking raven sitting on a wolf skull, which shows dominance. Again, a raven is a cunning animal. It is a very smart animal, and it knows how to come out on top even when the biggest beasts of prey fall. So I thought that would be a really cool way to talk about who Aaran is. All right, next, right shoulder. Right shoulder, you want the Spirited Flight 2 paint pattern, and you want the Raven of the Slain 3 for the exact same reasons as before. We're going with a theme here, if you couldn't tell, guys. For the chest, you want the Bear Tree 1 paint pattern that's gotten at Reputation 23 level 8. So level up your Highlander. Now, if I'm being honest, you don't need the Bear Tree, but what you do need is you need one of the more base patterns. So you're definitely going to want something, not these really intricate fancy patterns. You're going to want to go down to your basic stuff. Like you could use the oblique blades, you could use the cat's eye, you could use the lined square. You could use any of these and it would be just fine because that's more background texture more than anything. For symbol, nothing, but for embossing, you want the Celtic Weave 2. The Celtic Weave 2 is going to look best on this because it matches his helm. Remember how I said I'd get to that? The Celtic Weave 2 matches the embossing you see on his helm. If you look up in the upper corner over there, you can see how it matches the helm, so I wanted it to match that. And it also adds some more texture to the armor, which I definitely like, so that's what we're going to go with for the chest. For the standard, you want the Spirited Flight 3 background paint pattern, and you want the symbol for the Raven of the Slain 1. Again, going with that Raven look. I admit that that's kind of a personal thing for me because, you know, the Raven, and I do kind of connect him to, like, being part of the Raven clan, if that makes sense, you know, like, not like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, forget that. I'm talking about my Raven clan, you know, if I had a Viking clan, it would be the Raven clan for obvious reasons. So I thought that that would be a good connection. Now, obviously, you're all wondering, okay, what's the color scheme, Raven? What is it? The color scheme for Aaran is hide. That's right, it's hide. You thought it was going to be something fancy? Nope, it's just hide. Gotten at Reputation 21, level 16. I really do like this. It has a warm color to it, and since you always think about the Vikings in For Honor living in very cold climates, I thought the warm look would fit him. It looks very warm. It looks like the color of wine, and I thought that it would match his beard very well. I thought it would match the ginger beard very well, and so I thought that that warm color would kind of come out, and I also thought it would go well with the look of the Raven, that blue and black contrast with the warm reds. I thought that would be a very good contrast to add here. So you want the hide look, but if you don't want that or don't have that, anything warm will do. You could go with the Father of Understanding. There's another one. You could go with Night Blossom, which you get from the Death Raven's Elite outfit. That one's a pretty good one, a little bit brighter though. So there are other options you can get, but that is what you're going to want to get. You're going to want to get the hide look. All right, now what about abilities? What are we looking for here? For feats, I go with Fast Recovery. Aaran is a seasoned fighter. He knows that the most important thing you can have is fast recovery time. You want to be able to keep your stamina and save it for the right moment, so he wants fast recovery. For his second one, Winner's Advantage. Again, he's a seasoned fighter. Aaran knows how to make sure every attack lasts and every attack hits in the right spot, so he's the kind of person who plans these things out and knows exactly what he's doing. So I thought Winner's Advantage would work. The Longbow is his third one because it's a good ranged ability and it's going to make sure those cowards don't get away from you. And then Spear Storm because, okay, let's be real, the only other thing you use is Fire Flask, right? Who's using Champion's Aura with Highlander? Very few people will use Champion's Aura with Highlander, so I use Spear Storm because honestly, Aaran is one thing I like about Spear Storm is when you do it, you don't throw the spear. You just basically tell someone else, throw those, and then they throw them for you. So I think Aaran, being royalty, being a leader of Highlanders, would be the kind of person who could have that authority to command people to chuck their spears. So that is why I use those feats. So, pretty cool. All right. For executions, we have Intent to Behead. It's a pretty basic execution, pretty straightforward. I like this one very much. I think it is your most prim and basic Highlander execution, a very quick execution that shows off the way Aaran does things. Then you have Deep Cut, again, a very basic execution that shows a lot of power, strength, and domination, so I thought that would work well for Aaran. Dunma Smash, it's a slow execution, but Aaran is the kind of person who, when you've lost to him, he's going to tell you off while he does it. And this gives him plenty of time as he's killing you to basically say, let me tell you why I killed you, dude. Let me tell you why you're the one going 6 feet under and why I'm the one living. It's because you said you could beat me, and that's an example of your mouth writing checks your ass can't cash, and now I'm about to bury it. Do you understand me? You're genuinely in danger right now, and now you're dead. So that's the way Aaran rolls. And then the last one is High Cinder. I have my problems with this execution, and if you watch my executions graded video, you know what my problems are. But at the same time, Aaran is a cultured person, and this execution shows some of the culture of the Highlands, so I thought he would definitely benefit from having a cultured style execution. Now, if you don't have one of these executions, I can show you one that would definitely be a good follow-through. Another one that you can give is either Highlander, which is him killing with a spear, because once again, he's that kind of authority guy. He probably has a spear in waiting. Or you can use Cruel Demise. Cruel Demise over here, again, it's that slow execution that's going to give him time to tell off the enemy that he just beat. So those are the ones that you want to go with. But those first four, perfect for you. Perfect for Aaran. All right, for emotes, I use air guitar. And yes, for my own personal enjoyment, I do have a special effect for the and we'll talk about that in a minute. And I use Chimera Brew. Now, here's the thing. You might be wondering, why did I use Chimera Crew? I mean, Aaran's not a member of Chimera. He didn't join Chimera or Horkos. True, but Aaran is also quick to make allies that will benefit him and his clan. Chimera would not benefit him and his clan, but he will make allies, and that handshake is pretty baller. So he's got air guitar and Chimera Crew. For combat, he has Moment of Reflection and Heavy Swing. Both of these show a little bit of finesse, but also a little bit of respect, which Aaran has a lot of. For signatures, he goes, I'm going to mispronounce that, Kylie. I know I mispronounced that. Someone's going to crucify me in the comment section for it. But I like this one because, you know, it's just Aaran celebrating. The dude deserves it. The way he's worked to save his clan and save all the other Highlanders, the dude deserves it. He deserves a moment where he just says, yeah, boys, we did it. We won. I half expect him when he opens his mouth there, when he does it, him screaming freedom. Try to imagine it. Freedom! See? I saw it. I like that little look back, too. Like, you guys agree? You guys agree with me, right? Like, you're with me, right? Yeah? Okay. So, yep. Now for effects. All right, for idle, I use Vengeful Valrafen because, again, Raven Clan. For execution, I don't use any. I don't use any execution effects for Aaran. But for free roam, I do use Surtur's Devastation because, come on, he's playing a guitar, rock and roll style. You can't not have a fire-breathing demon for that. But then I use Vengeful Valrafen for just about everything else because he is representing the Raven Clan, and that's what really matters. Now, if you wanted to, you could use the Vengeful Valrafen for... Wait, wrong one. I must have overlooked it. But either way, you could use the Vengeful Valrafen for Aaran's execution as well. But anyway, that about wraps it up for Aaran. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's been a while since I did one of these. I want to do more of these. And not all the characters that I've made have I made... Legends videos for yet, and I will get back to the Legends videos very soon. I have more time to write when I'm subbing, so I'll definitely sit down and write some more. But what do you guys think of Aaran? Will you be making him too? Will you want to play as Aaran too when the Highlander testing ground starts? How many Aarans am I going to see running around on the battlefield when I try it out myself? Let me know, guys, in the comment section down below, and as always, guys, I will see you in my next video. Take care.